here because I have a single code and doesn't. If I would be using single codes out here as well, then the PHP gonna think, a start of a single code and an end of a single code. Then again a start of a single code and there is no end. You wanna, end up with some errors. So I would be using double quotes out here and the single quote inside. And if all these statements are not true, then only our PHP gonna come and follow this else statement. If the if is true, it's gonna break it there. Else if it's true, it's gonna break it there. If this else if is true, then it's gonna search for this if. If this is true, it's gonna break it there. Or if this particular else if is true, then it's gonna break it there. But if they all are false, then it's only gonna come to our else statement. And in the else statement, I will be saying $SQL. That is a very simple variable name. You can name it to whatever you want. There is no hard rules for it. Then would be MySQL query. We are saying go ahead and run a MySQL query. That query would be insert into our table name, that is users. So we are saying go ahead and insert into users. And now we will be saying what to insert or where to insert. So I would be saying username, okay. Then I would be saying email. Well, I have first name, last name, password, date of birth, address 1, address 2, okay, town, county, postcode, the contact number, and the time. And guys, make sure these names actually matches to the one you have inside your database. There is no hard rule for, I would say, the way they are. Like if the username and like I have the email after username, but if you will use first name after username, it hardly matters. That's perfectly fine. You can do it. Make sure they have the same name as it is defined in the database, and you're using a comma after every single field name. Okay, so this is inside a bracket, and out here I'm going to close my bracket. Now I'm going to say what values you need to put inside these field names. Okay, so those values would be inside the bracket as well, and I would be saying single quotes dollar username. Now make sure they both are alternates out here. So if I have username first, I need to enter username out here. If I'm gonna say email, then it's gonna put email in the username field. Okay, so I'm gonna say username. For the email, put the variable email. Then for the first name, put the variable first name. For the last name, put the variable last name. For the password, put the variable password. For the date of birth, put date of birth. Very simple way, guys, to add anything to database. Just make sure you are using the right variable names and they are in the right order. Then address true. After that would be $town, dollar then I would be saying $county. Okay, after county I have $postcode, contact, and for the time I would be using a MySQL function. That's now I'm gonna give you the current time and date, which is right now. Okay, so let me go through the entire query. If you guys have any kind of confusion, you can understand it properly right now. I'm saying run a MySQL query, and the query needs to be an insert query. It should insert to the users table and enter, just use these field names: username, email, first name, last name, date of birth. The field names I have set here, and their values needs to be like this. So username, email. Okay, very simple. Then I'm gonna say if $SQL. That means if the query was successful, then go ahead and pick up successfully submitted. You may log in now. Yeah, we may log in now. Okay, guys. Now we can finally test it. But I'm missing my semicolons out here, and I'm gonna write, very simple handle to make sure if we got any error, we are sure about it. Okay, or die MySQL error. But on the very top, I have to include my connection file because till now my query does not know which particular database to follow. So by including this file, I'm gonna say, okay, man, follow the database which is defined inside this file. Okay. I believe, guys, we are set to go. Go ahead, refresh. Oh, there is an error on line number 42. It's 42 out here. Okay. What is this? It says there is an unexpected T logical OR. I'm gonna test it out. Insert it into user username, first name, last name, date of birth, county, contact time. Okay. Then here is the ending of now. I believe it's okay. I have a semicolon ending out here as well. Okay, it's perfectly fine now. So I'm gonna hit register without writing anything. It says all star fields are required. Don't worry, we can add stars out here to let that person know which star fields we are talking about. So I'm gonna say username, email, this first name, password. Okay, one more thing, guys. I'm sorry. Out here, I'm gonna say dollar password will be equals to dollar MD5 password. MD5 is again a PHP function to encrypt your passwords and to make sure they are more secure. Okay. So out here, I'm gonna say password to admin, again an admin, date of birth. Right now I'm writing it, but later I might show you how to use jQuery to add a calendar out here. And the address. So let's say something, This is my actual address, okay? Do not let anyone know about it. Okay. I'm not interested. Writing my second address. I have only one county, guys. I'm not sure what county people don't use any kind of county word in India, so if it does means to country, then I'm gonna say India. Otherwise, I'm gonna write my state name. I'm gonna use my postcode. No contact number, guys. It says undefined variable password 1 on line 35. My gosh. Okay, we have password and password 1. Jesus. So I'm gonna take it off. Let's do it again. It says successfully submitted. You may log in now. Go ahead, check out our database, and let's see what we got. So I have a username here. I have an email, a first name, last name, encrypted password. Now, no one can actually, make out. My phone's ringing. Okay, it's gone. So, the encrypted password, date of birth, my address, and all the required fields we need, we have it, and the current time, the time I registered at your website. True, no? So, guys, now you need to make sure which particular field you want to use in order to let the person log in. Let's say if you want your users to log in with the email, then you need to make sure that the email is a unique. You don't have multiple emails in your database. Or if you want them to log in with the username, then you need to make sure that the username is unique in the database. So for right now, I would be using email, okay? But the form that we created till now, if I'm gonna, resubmit it, let me, just refresh, resend, it will make another entry to my database. Though I have the duplicate emails, we need to control it. So what I'm gonna do is, after this password thing, I'm gonna say else if, and I would be writing condition out here, but for that condition I have to write a query first. Guys, I will be saying $fetch, again a very simple PHP variable. It can be anything. I'm going to say MySQL query. This time, instead of inserting it, we want to select it. I'm going to say select all from users, that is our table name, where email. That means select from this table where this field is equals to the one that person gonna put, or type MySQL error. Okay, then I'm gonna say $num rows, that would be equal to MySQL num rows $fetch. This might seem a bit complicated to you, but that this is the way it is, and you will have to understand it. What I'm doing is, first I'm running a query. I'm selecting the field where this email is equals to the one I'm going to put out here. So if I'm going to put the same email out here, then it's going to go to the database and it's going to find, oh, here is that email. Okay, then I'm saying is, let me know how many rows you got with that particular email. MySQL num rows means how many rows have been returned. So if I'm going to echo $num rows, you're going to get for now, just I'm going to comment out this particular SQL query, otherwise it will keep on entering some data to our database. I'm going to hit resend. It's a syntax error on line number 45. Okay, out here, refresh. Here it says 2 because I have this email twice in my database. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to echo it out. Now inside my else if I'm going to say if $num rows is greater than or equals to 1, then go ahead and let that person know, dude, we already have your email, we already have this email registered, try a new one. Okay, we are giving them the alternative as well. You can try a different email. Okay, now go ahead, refresh the page. Here this is, we already have this email registered, try a new one. Okay guys, that's a very simple way to make a registration form. And if I'm missing anything, you people can actually let me know by comments so that I can add it next time. It's a very lengthy form, so it might can happen. I forgot to validate something that you people actually got it. But in the next video, I will be showing you how to use this particular data and authenticate the users before they will log in or see any kind of secure page that you have created. So till that time, goodbye.